The fire is quieter here, as if it knows the river is speaking already. Its light trembles on the stones, and the air carries the cool, green scent of water moving without hurry. I have listened to this bend longer than I have listened to myself. Tonight, while the current keeps its counsel, I will let the river remember aloud. The river curved wide and slow through the low ground, easing its way as though there were no reason to arrive anywhere soon. Reeds leaned toward it, their reflections folding and unfolding with each passing moment. The far bank lay blurred, not by distance, but by motion. Water never stood still here. It only pretended to. Those who walked the bend learned a simple practice. You did not ask the river to stop. You did not ask it to return anything. You watched and let it pass. Two questions drifted just beneath the surface. What does the water choose to carry? And what does it release when no one is looking? At the edge, stones lay half submerged, their tops dry and pale, their lower halves darkened by long acquaintance with the current. Leaves gathered briefly in the shallows, then slipped free, turning once before being taken on. Reflections lived a fragile life here. The sky appeared, then broke apart. Trees leaned in, then scattered. Faces, when they came, never stayed long enough to be certain. The river accepted everything without pause. A narrow path followed the bend, pressed into the earth by years of quiet walking. People came there when memory felt too heavy to hold in place. The river did not ask what had been lost. It only offered movement. Sometimes, objects were set at the water's edge. A ribbon, a smooth stone carried too far for too long, a scrap of paper folded small. The current took these things seriously. It tested them first, nudging, circling, then deciding. Nothing was taken quickly. The water preferred consent. Birds moved along the bend in low arcs, skimming the surface, touching and lifting away. Their reflections chased them briefly, then fell behind, stretched thin and gone. The sound of the river was not loud, it was persistent, a layered murmur, like many voices speaking at once, but never over one another. A woman came there one evening as the light thinned, her steps slowing as she reached the curve. She stood without moving, hands empty, eyes on the water. What she carried had no shape that could be set down. The river reflected her face for a moment, then softened it, smoothing the lines, blending her into the bend as if she were another passing thing. She breathed out. The current answered by continuing. I once stood where she stood, watching something of mine loosen and drift. And I knew then that the river does not keep memories, it teaches them how to travel. The woman stayed until the sky darkened and the reflections grew fewer. When she turned away, the river did not change its course. It had received what it could, and that was enough. Downstream, the bend straightened, water quickened. What had been gathered, spread out, thinned, became part of something wider. No single memory remained intact. None were lost entirely. The river understood balance. Those who returned later often felt lighter without knowing why. The ache was still there, but it moved now, no longer caught against the same inner bank. At night, the river held the moon in fragments, silver slipping through dark water. Each piece travelled on its own, never rejoining, never missed. The fire here burns low, its light wavering like a reflection that cannot be held. Somewhere a river is turning gently, carrying what was given to it, and leaving the banks just a little quieter than before. If you find your thoughts drifting, there are other bends where the water remembers how to carry them on.